Hello children, welcome to the social science lessons for class 8 geography chapter resources part 3. In general, resources can be classified as natural resources, human made resources and human resources. Right. So, in the previous class, we have already discussed in detail about the natural resources, and today we will see in detail about the human made resources and human resources and conserving resources. What is the need for conservation of resources? So, all these things will be covering in this particular class. So, let's start with human made resources. So we know the definition for human made resources, the resources which are made by the human beings for their own needs, right? So human made resources. Sometimes natural substances become resources only when their original form has been changed. And who changed the original form of natural resources? It is the human beings, right? Now, iron was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. So we have already learned when a substance or a thing become a resource, when it has some usability or utility, or it has some value, then only that becomes a resource. If the iron ore was simply laying under the soil, and we do not know iron can be used for many things, so we cannot consider that iron ore as a resource, right? But when people learn to extract this iron ore, and we people found the iron ore has many uses, it, like from a tiny pin we use to a towering building, so it required iron, right? And we can consider iron as an indispensable part of our daily life. Okay, so when people started realizing there are uses out of iron, or people start extracting iron, the iron ore become a resource. Okay, then people use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are known as human made resources. All this resources is buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are made for the needs of human beings, and these are called human made resources. These are made by human beings. Now, technology is also a human made resource. All the inventions are happened because of human beings, and it is done by human beings. So, technology is also a human made resource. Next is human resource. Human resource refers to the number and abilities. So, those abilities means both mental and physical abilities of the people. Human beings are a special resource, or why human resources are important. We can see here is 2 points. People can make the best use of nature to create more resources when they have the knowledge, skill, and the technology to do so. And second point, it is the ability of human that help in transferring the physical material into valuable resources. Okay, so that is why the human resources are said as important, or human beings are considered as a special resource. Then, education and health help in making people a valuable resource. And the quality of human resource, it depends mostly on education and health. Those who are having better education, or those who are having better health situations, They will be an asset to the society, and we can consider them as the valuable human resources. And so those who are well educated, those who are healthy, we depend on them for many things, right? So these people become resources. We do have some use out of those well educated or healthy people. Improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. Okay. So here other thing is like the quality of the human resource can be improved. How the quality of human resource, who are human resources over here? People are human resources, right? The quality of people can be improved. How the quality of people can be improved? It is by giving more of education, more of training, or more of health facilities, right? So here you can see improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. Okay, so this definition you have to learn. Then this is a cartoon from your textbook. Here you can see two type of people as a scientist and some farmers. Crops ruined due to drought. Can you find a solution? The scientist was saying, and finally she finds it out. That's Then she explains, or she gives her ideas to the farmers. It's all thanks to the knowledge, education, and skill. We could find a solution. Read and ponder. Humans are interdependent on each other. Why? Because people are resources, right? Farmers provide food grains for everyone. Scientists suggest various means to combat problems related to agriculture and improve farm production. And what is combat problems? To solve problems related to agriculture and improve farm production. So this is the theme of this particular cartoon. Again, you can see a picture here, and you can see a girl sleeping so much scared. And this girl is Mona, and she had a nightmare. So in her nightmare, she saw the whole earth is like a desert, and almost all creatures are dead, and the land became so much like desert, and the human beings are wandering here and there for food, and she saw it like only bones are remaining on the earth, that of creatures. So, such a horrible situation. Okay, and later he explains this dream to her mother, and she asked her mother, Amma, will it really happens? So her mother replied, Yes, if we are not carefully using our non renewable resource, it will get exhausted, or its stock will become empty. And if we are not carefully using renewable resources also, in future we may face with scarcity of those resources. So as an example, we can take water. If we are not carefully using it, in future we may face with scarcity of water. Okay, so here you will see the heading is conserving resources. So from Mona's nightmare, we understood So there is a need for conservation of resources. Now, what is resource conservation? Using resources carefully, giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Okay, so related to this, an idea which was suggested by Bretland Commission is sustainable development. And what is sustainable development? Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called sustainable development. In Malayalam, it is Susthira Vikasanam. Okay, so it is kind of development without hampering other needs of other future generations. Okay, and you will see some of the principles of sustainable development. So respect and care for all forms of life, because all forms of life are important. Improve the quality of human life. So how the quality of human life can be improved? By giving better facilities, by giving, if it is human resources, by giving better training, and conserve the earth's vitality and diversity. So we should not do anything harm to the diversity which is found on the earth's surface. Minimize the depletion of natural resources. Over exploitation of natural resources must be stopped. Change personal attitude and practices towards other environment. Other environment is not solely meant for me, but for many like me. So there should be a consideration for others when we are depending on the environment. Then enable communities to care for their environment. So this is especially with the forest communities. Okay, many times the city dwellers or the outsiders of forest, they enter to the forest and they hamper the lives of the forest communities. And like these forest communities have a role in protecting the forest, right? Then it is our duty to ensure that all uses of renewable resources are sustainable. Then the diversity of life on earth is conserved, and the damage to natural environmental system is minimized. Then we also can contribute to the sustainable development. Then by this I conclude. Thank you, children. Let's care for the resources. Let's care for the planet.